And good evening. It is Friday, and it is just a moment or two past 7 o'clock on the 23rd of February. And this is the weekly broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights. We've had a long day today, lots of activities and whatnot going on. So we want to welcome you, and I'm going to just say hello. My name is Maureen Taylor, and I work with Welfare Rights. And Marion is here, who's going to give you an official welcome. So we're on that one camera, and we're going to see if we can get that television screen working too. But other than that, we're going to move on. So Marion, say hello.
Hello. It's good to be among you today. I wish you could have been with us earlier today. But we're going to hope that we get one more and more of them organized, and that's like we used to do, have all these rallies and then get ready to march and do everything else that's necessary to fight the enemy that's in our camps as well as around our camp. So I want to remind you that you're listening to WHPR TV 33, www, again, TV 33, WHPR.com. So make sure that you stay with us. They're trying to take care of the technical thing. It might mean that Maureen and I will get up and begin to show them how to do this technical stuff. Are you ready for us, Junior, to help you?
Just hold your breath. Wait for that
Are
here.
you ready for Maureen and I to help you with
Not
this?
yet.
Not yet?
All right.
Oh, we're on the air.
All right. It's good. It's
And it
good.
look like half my hair is black and half of it is white.
Well, now.
What is you doing that type of stuff too, Junior?
Color TV.
What's wrong now?
You say he had nothing to do with that part.
All right,
Okay.
we're on the air, and remember, we're located at Detroit Highland Park, and you can even get us up north.
Yes,
at
that's
time.
right.
TV 33. If you can't get 33, try 20.
And 91 on
at
Comcast.
and see what you can what can happen. But let us hear your voices tonight, and we have a report for you.
All right. Well, a couple of things. Marion, one safety issue I wish you would co-sign. When it starts to get dark outside and people are crossing the street, there are two rules. First, try to wear something that's light or bright. Because if you're walking outside and across the street and it's dark and you have on all dark clothes, drivers are hitting people all the time now and leaving them there. So I'm coming around Hamilton tonight, and the street lights are out on the way here. And I just barely saw this figure going across the road, and I went on around them, but this person, I couldn't even see if it was a man or woman, a child, but they had on all black. And I couldn't see them, and just as I was approaching is when I saw somebody quietly walking across the street. People should be a little bit more careful. And then the other thing, Marion, if there's a two-way street, and in the middle, a lot of times people will walk out to try to cross the street, and they don't make it all the way across. And they go to that middle lane and just kind of wait till the traffic clears. People are hitting folks in that middle section. And it's the same issue, not wearing clothes that make you stand out. And you coming across the street, you stop in the middle and let the other part of the traffic go by. People shouldn't do that, because I think we're in that period of time now for several years where folks will hit you with a car, look and see what happened, know that they hit you, and they'll keep going. And I've seen that 2 times today already, where somebody was out there on the service drive trying to cross from one side of the service drive to the other. So traffic safety things are going on.
We're telling you not to wear this color clothes at nighttime. And this is not a new
about that
rule.
black.
The reason why we have it on is because we had it on during the daytime. But if I'm out there in the street and you don't see me,
Yes.
some kind of way, I better have some lights to show you that I'm out there or something.
Please.
Because I don't want to die right now. So let us obey that particular rule, because it's for your safety and my safety.
And then, Marion, I need you to comment on, since last week now, we've been involved with the shooting deaths of these kids in a school. And I was kind of surprised to hear. I thought all schools, high schools especially, had metal detectors with kids going in the buildings.
No.
And I was quite surprised to hear that a school with 3,000 kids in it did not have metal detectors. But Marion, the
I don't see
president,
why you're surprised,
well,
Maureen.
I
It's a
thought they
part
all
of
did.
no,
I'm saying I
no.
thought they all did. I was surprised to hear that. But the president has suggested that one of the ways to keep students safe is to give the art teacher and the math teacher and the gym teacher a gun. So I guess they have to be trained. Then I'm not sure where they keep the gun. Guess you have to keep it in the desk. But you know, another NRA, National Rifle Association answer. The way to deal with this prevalence of shooting is to get more guns. Mary, what do you think about that kind of
I don't
concept?
go along with that concept because that concept is not to protect us. It's to protect. They're pushing a thing into people's mind to accept fascism as and also not to protect us. That ain't what it's all about. It's to protect private property, and then we
Protect
talking
the
about
NRA.
to protect and make sure people like the Bush and all the rest of those folks in the not 1% be able to get some profits at our expense. They don't give a damn, Maureen. Excuse my word. They don't care about those children.
Not at all.
Because it should be obvious, and they shouldn't have to discuss this stuff. It's obvious they don't care what nationality you are.
Don't
If
care
you
nothing about
are
'em.
part of the working class, and they don't need you no more. Be your babies and everything else. Look at how this flu has gotten out here. Babies dying, grandmama dying, fathers dying. Everybody in the family has the opportunity to step forth and die if they have the flu because they're not caring about us. And to go in there, they knew something was wrong with that young man.
Marion, he been in
How
out of the
many
hospital
times?
over since he was 8 years
How
old.
many times?
And that's a message about how folks that have mental illness and anger issues, nobody cares. You know,
I cared
you
about
know,
my mentally ill clients I used to have.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about this 8-year-old that from the time he was 8 to the time he was 18.
Huh.
In and out, in and out. The mama calling, there's something wrong with him. He's trying to fight everybody in the house.
And that's
Police
generally the
being
motion
called,
too.
all of this.
When you
All
try to
these times.
even go to the welfare department and say, look, my child has beaten me up. They're beating up the people all around and stuff like that. Can I get some help? Oh, ma'am, yeah, we'll send some information out here. And people have waited and waited
And
and
how many
received
times
how
have
many
we
times?
seen this over the years,
And
man?
over the years for
How
years.
many times, you
So,
know?
and so but people you can
Get our teacher a gun.
teachers do not want guns.
No, and they're saying it.
They're saying that they want to be able to be in a safe environment to be able to teach their children.
Oh, Lord. Caller, thank you for being so patient. And you are on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Good evening, ladies. How are you?
Fine, sir.
And you know what? Just what I think Marion said is all we want to do is teach.
That's
and
what
I mean,
teachers want to do.
strap a gun on a teacher. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
Because let's face it, okay, at times teaching can be very intense and, stressful. And, you've got some people who, I mean, I'm talking about teachers now, who some of them are walking on the edge.
Yes,
it won't take
indeed.
a whole lot to push them off. And we got something, and you know about it, Maureen.
Yeah.
You got some students. They give less than a doggone about people who are in authority, and they will get up in somebody's face. And if you got that teacher who's on that edge with that gun, you got a clash between them two. And
You
if
got
it
a
happens,
problem.
The gun is pulled, a shot or shots are fired. You've either got a seriously injured student or dead, and depending upon how many other shots were fired, you got collateral damage with other students in that class.
That's right.
It's just a mess. I mean, just the stupidest kind of response I ever heard, you know?
And Maureen, it amazes me how, I mean, probably other than the fact that number 45, all right, has went to school from kindergarten through wherever he went after, in high school,
Military school.
has
Who did
never
Bush.
walked
I mean, not
in
Bush.
my
Not
shoes
Bush.
or
Trump.
any other teacher's shoes
Trump.
to see
Military
if they
school.
can do what we do on a daily basis.
You're so right, caller. We agree.
And it is just, then he gonna sit there and put some bait on the hook, talking about, and those teachers who want to carry the gun, we can pay them more money.
You know, this man
They ain't
it
gonna be able to
shows
pay them
you
teachers enough money.
that, you know, this man just throw ignorant stuff out for folks
I
to
got
be
stop
able
right
to
there.
examine,
Please,
you know.
Please don't refer to him as a man, because you insult me when you call him.
No, one device and the two there. You are a man.
I hear you.
That is not a man. But
it is.
anyway, you know, he knows what he's doing, and he's laying the foundation for us to be able to look at and debate with him around his ignorant stuff that he's putting out and forgetting what the real world is and that he's one of our enemies, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, people better start waking up. Wake up.
Caller, thank you for your thoughts.
Thanks for taking the call.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so very much. Caller, you are on the air. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Good evening, Marion and Maureen.
And good
Good
evening.
evening.
This is Deputy Chief Amos.
Hey, Deputy Chief.
Hello.
Hey, I want to thank you for your questions at the governor's forum.
Oh, okay.
Candidates for governors.
Okay.
Again, thank you for your questions.
Yeah.
Now here's the concern that we should all have. If we're working, if we're city workers retired and our pensions were affected,
Yep.
okay, Bill Ford endorsed Bill Wow. Mike Duggan endorsed Brenda Jones. Maddie Maroon is endorsing Chanel Jackson. This is corporate and business. Why would we support those candidates?
Little thin girl that was running for state rep.
Can you tell me?
Well, Mary and I is sitting here having a conversation about this now. You know, a lot of times who you run with, who you roll with, has a lot to do with who you think with. And we were just sitting here talking about, Chanel Jackson. Is she running for office again?
Yes, she is. She's running for 13th Congressional District.
Well, she probably
she's a
should
Democrat.
be running for the dog catcher.
Well, she's a Democrat, and she's the party favorite usually.
Well,
So now we'll get
all
to
three
see.
of them claim to be Democrats.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
but
know.
some
We
are
know.
Democrats that are outside the party favor. Others are Democrats that live and love inside the party activities.
Because,
So I hadn't heard that she was running again, but I'm not surprised.
because
Yeah,
even
she's running.
you
And,
know,
I
well-
mean, this 13th congressional race has become a clown show.
yes, it is. It is a clown show. You know, when I look at the fact that in our office we have one of the best person that could have ran at one time, and that was what's her name? T. That
Tawana.
Tawana Morris, and we kept trying to tell Tawana, a lot of those people that you have put your faith in, good woman, always ready to get out in the
They're not
community.
gonna stand with you.
And a community and work hard
Door to
every
door.
day, and whether or not she's sick or whatever. And we told her, said, Tawana, you better watch out for some of those people in that 13th congressional district and all the people in the Democratic Party, because they're going to stab you in your back. You're going to know by you running who are your real friends that you thought were your friends and who are your real enemies. Tawana
She had to learn a lesson.
She learned a lesson. And
So-
she know who not to trust and who has to go on. You can't a person that's not supporting the Poor People's Campaign, a person that's sitting up letting people water get turned off and you ain't got your butt out in the street helping us to keep that water on. A person that is not out there fighting against poverty and going to give us statistics and stuff like, we got statistics. We know how to deal with those statistics. We don't need you for that. And a person that have sit around all the time and if it been us on city council, ain't no way I wouldn't have made a stink if they had brought some of that mess about privatizing. I'd probably been standing on the table like I did in the welfare office and saying, y'all look here. Whether you're looking at TV or what, you don't need to stand with people like this sitting around this table down here at City Council in Highland Park or down in City Council in Detroit or what. You want someone that's going to help you to fight for a better society for the children, as well as we're going to benefit from it if it's something that's for the children. So, you know, wake up, people.
Well,
what is wrong? I'm so angry today, I don't know what to do. What is wrong with you?
Deputy Chief, we have many of the same questions, and oftentimes take a look at who people are endorsed by. That's not always an answer. But you raised some very, very poignant questions. You have to pay attention to what's going on out here. So I think you're spot on here.
Spot.
Well, okay, my next question is, out of the candidates that have announced, which ones can you say, or you and Marion say, that's been out in the street on the front line with the people other than Coleman Young?
We have not seen the first four candidates that were on the gubernatorial stage the other day. None of them have made a presence in the water fight, in the housing eviction fights, in the foreclosure fights. Flint, none of those individuals have distinguished themselves at all.
None.
So we are still looking.
None.
No, we're still looking.
Congressional district.
None.
I don't know. See, I think it's too early to tell because
Coleman Young's been out there.
Well, wait a minute now. All of the candidates that are running have not yet announced.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. And there are a few, and we're going to hold on because, you know, the election is several months away. And all the candidates, you know, I got wind of one today that's talking about throwing the hat in the ring in the 13th Congressional District. But the point that I think you're raising is not only do we need to look at that person and, you know, the words that they say don't mean anything. All right, what did they do yesterday? What did they do last month? What did they do 6 months ago toward these particular activities? And that's where we should be taking a stronger viewpoint. Okay, caller?
All right.
All right, that makes sense. All right. Thank you, sir.
Again, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Caller, you on air. You've been so patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights.
Oh, is that us?
Yes, that's us.
Oh, okay. How y'all doing?
Y'all fine.
Seems like you got a lot of really hot stuff going on there.
That's Rick.
Who is that?
That's Rick.
It's Rick and Michelle.
Yes.
Hey, I tried to
How
catch
y'all
that
doing?
phone call.
We're doing well, and Marion said you were might be able to call in this evening. We have all kind of hot stuff jumping off in the city of Detroit.
It seems like it's on fire.
This is Michelle and Rick from Washington, D.C.
Our members.
Calling to share some updated information about the state of the nation. So go ahead and tell us what you want us to know.
Michelle.
Well, actually, I think this came about because we were talking with Marion. We were telling her about how we were trying to move on the waterfront here in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And what we found is that one of the tactics that are being used to take over and move people out using water has to do with charging all of a sudden for impervious water surfaces. And basically what that means
Okay,
is charging
again.
All right, say that again.
charging buildings.
No, Michelle.
Yes.
Michelle, say that again. Charging for what?
Impervious surface charges.
What is that first word? Impervious?
Impervious. IMPERCIOUS.
That's useless. I know what that word means. Okay, go ahead. I
Right.
never heard that before. All right.
Well, I first heard about it when I was in Detroit with y'all, because when my cousin came to the conference,
Oh,
and
yeah,
she
at the
told
gathering.
us that in Detroit they were charging her church all of a sudden $3,000 to
yeah.
$5,000 a month
Yes.
for their parking spot.
Yes.
Parking lot.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's impervious surface because the water doesn't drain.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes. Now
So
we know what you're talking
found
about.
out when we were finding out that there were problems here, that the churches here are being charged in excess of $10,000 and $20,000 a month
Same thing.
for their space. And a lot of the churches have already started moving out of D.C.
All right.
And we're
Now.
trying to find out why it's so high, and it's because the city, when it had made the agreement with the water company, exempted itself
There you
from
go.
paying any water fees. So all of those fees are being passed on to all the rest of us.
Now,
Well, it
Michelle,
sound like I was
hold on just 1 second. Hold on a second. Now, those of you that are viewing this program, we did not tell Michelle or Rick to say that. And we talked about if I live here and here's the church lot next to you, and they're talking about there was no drainage for a period of months or years, and all of a sudden now we have to charge this church lot, this plot over here,
Impervious water.
and yeah, they didn't call it impervious. Over here they call it
No,
drainage fees. Okay.
Okay.
And here it is,
Runoff
what
water.
the runoff water. What Michelle and Rick are talking about is what happened here, and now it has moved to Washington D.C. It's like
Oh,
we
yeah.
said. Go ahead, keep telling us about it.
And so what's happening is that everybody, when they get their water bills, a lot of you can't understand why the charges are so much higher all of a sudden.
Yep.
And it's because we're being charged the impervious surface charge, which the city has exempted itself from. And because the city won't pay it, the federal government won't pay it. And they own more land in the district than anybody else.
Ain't that
So they
something?
put it on the churches.
So
Here
now
we
they
go.
got us paying their fees.
They're doing the same thing to you that they're doing to people in Highland Park.
Well, see, what Marion is saying, they're doing the same thing to you as what's being done to the people in Highland Park. Don't bill them for X amount of months and years, and then all of a sudden come up with a fee that says you owe this amount of money. Now, in Detroit, what they did is told those pastors and those preachers, you are going to have to start paying tens of thousands of dollars, but what we'll do, if I'm still the mayor, we'll spread it out over a period of months. And so you only have to pay $300 or $400 or $500 a month over the next 5 or 6 or 7 years, and that's if I'm still the mayor.
Now listen, in Highland Park, they're trying to move to put that on our property taxes, which are high as it is, and they talk about as high as $10,000 per household, or more. A quicker way to move you on out. Now, what do you think City Council is saying? Not a darn thing. City Council don't do nothing but do whatever the city manager tells them to do. And I haven't seen nothing good come out of the city council. And the same thing for Detroit. If you see this type of injustice, and these ain't nothing but some house Negroes, some type of injustice coming down like this on the working class, be you working or unemployed or whatever, you know, you should be in the front telling us the effects of this on us. We don't hear nothing about it until they up against the wall and they still go along with the master.
All right, you all go ahead and tell us the rest of this story.
Well, anyway, but that was the big thing that we discovered as we were trying to move on a water affordability plan for D.C.
Yeah.
So we have taken up the bill that you all passed out
Yes.
in Detroit,
Yes.
and we're working through our Consumer Utility Board. We're
Fantastic.
building alliances now with the churches so that we're building forces to move this water affordability plan. And we're working with the lawyer Roger out of Boston.
Roger
helped-
Colton.
Colton.
Roger
Yes.
Colton.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So we
And we had
we
2 meetings.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Yeah, well, we had 2 meetings. One phone meeting, and then you met with those guys in Baltimore.
Right. And when I met in Baltimore with him, there were 6 other members of the Cub with me. So there's a number of people who are now
That's good.
working and paying attention to what's happening here because it's happening here too.
And we must keep this water, stop them from trying to privatize the
Oh,
water.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
we
yeah.
must talk about we was talking about this. We must talk about some of these terms. This water was it was a common. Remember that we own the water.
Yes.
We
right.
own the water. The
Municipal.
public,
Yeah, the public
only
does.
own the water. And
That's
they have
right.
stolen the water from us, and these people sitting on city council, these mayors and all the rest of them, it might be a few and in between, and we want to give a shout out to Mayor Yap tonight because he did come to try to hear what the need of the people were at the Poor People's Conference. But at the same time, these folks are not giving a hoot whether or not you die tomorrow, Rick, without water or what have you. So, they just march right along. What you want, Master?
Well, let me say this, both to Michelle and to Rick. There is a water affordability conversation. Can't speak tired. Conversation going on in Baltimore. It's been passed in Philadelphia.
Right.
They're having a conversation about installing water affordability concepts in Chicago. And I don't know if you all remember Chili Yazzie,
Yes.
the Native
yeah.
American. He went to Durango, put the paperwork in front of his council. I love Chili, boy.
Chili is
And they said, okay, this sounds like a good idea to us. And he got it passed already in Durango. So
Okay, right.
across the country, your efforts, the things that you all are doing to try to get a water affordability plan instituted where you live, you are right on track, and I really don't think that's the truth. You're really above the curve. So many people are trying to look at this, and should tell you, Marion, I don't know if you heard Alice today. Alice and a bunch of attorneys across the country,
Yeah, she told us about
they're
that.
working with conference calls to push into the legislature
Right.
a national right to water law. And
Right.
boy, them lawyers is hot on the trail.
And
It's
they-
about 50 of
Okay.
them.
And these people
They're working it out
they
nationally.
always put our interests first. Something. And I'm so. You see, I'm hot tonight, so I'm so sick of these candidates.
Well, cool down,
Sick of
Mr.
'em.
Kramer. Calm down.
No, I'm not coming down.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you finish up whatever it is else that we need to know, and especially about this water situation, and give us your feelings right quick. We've had this mass shooting, yet another one, no big deal anymore, huh? And the first thing the president talked about is he wants to give the art teacher and the music teacher and the gym teacher some training so that they can have guns in the school. Now, what do you all think about that?
Well, it's like the other stuff. He's about the dumbest person on earth. I mean, and I think the children at that school, that last shooting,
Oh, yeah.
have,
Children is good.
have stood up and said that they're not going to take it no more. And their parents
no.
are supporting them, and I am so happy.
Yes.
I'm so
I
proud
mean,
of them.
it's coming around. It's coming around. People are standing up. We've always been standing up. But more and more people are standing up and recognizing that this is not the direction they want this country to go.
I think you're correct. I think you're right.
Maureen and Rick and Michelle, Crystal asked me last night, but I was so tired with one eye open
Come
and the
on
other
now. Don't
closed.
tell
you
us
know.
your sleepy story. Go
Uh,
ahead.
She said, Ma, we want to get a bus. I said, a bus for what? And because I forgot all about the young people going to D.C. soon. She said,
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to get a
I
bus
think
and
this
go
is
to
the
D.C.
16th
too.
of next
March
month. I'm not
24th.
sure.
And they said, because we are part of this also, we need to be going. I said, well, we will talk to you and try to see what we can do. She said, well, I'm going to call Maureen tonight. I said, if you can give it up, not calling Maureen tonight. Maureen's asleep. But this is what, and if you listen in our listening audience,
March 24th.
March 24th, if the
Yeah.
children say they need a bus, let's get them a bus. I talked to a couple other folks today.
Central already just
let's-
committed for money.
Let's get them a bus, put some supervising people on that bus, and let them go and participate. And because they are sick and tired of this nonsense.
They are
out here.
geeked and ready to
And-
go.
And tie and make strong ties with those kids down there. I mean,
That's
because
right.
It's happening all over. They are recognizing that it's happening all
Yep.
over the country.
That's
and they
right.
want to do something about it.
And we
Yep.
must
Something
support
will be
We
it.
done
agree.
about it. I think we can help them
Yes,
Yes.
we
by
can.
being clear where the problem is coming from, and I think that's one place where we can really do some real good work.
I think
Yes.
it's fabulous.
I think
We
those-
absolutely
yes.
agree.
Yes.
They're already talking about no more money from the National Rifle
Rifle
Association.
Association.
They done
Right
went there and
on.
put
I
a
know.
stranglehold on
And
Marco Rubio.
any candidates they accept, once they expose and they didn't accept some money, don't support them. That's what they're saying.
They all on
That's
top
what
of
they
this.
say. And they're even saying that they're not going to. They're going to run people out of office who
Yes.
are not on their side.
I heard it.
children, The
I heard it.
children,
Mhm.
listen, the children are marching.
All right.
All right now.
And we're going to be there and support them.
All right, finish up your thoughts with us and tell us the best piece of news we need to know as we all go forward.
Well, one thing is that we are coming up close on our Food Justice Conference scheduled for March 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
Okay?
And we are focusing on the question of why, in the world's wealthiest nation, is there hunger at all?
Okay?
When we are the 99%,
That's right.
and we make and produce everything,
That's right.
why do we also have the hungry?
And why do we have to be hungry? There you go.
That's the whole point.
There you go.
We don't have to. We
That's
know it's because of a rotten, exploitive economic system called capitalism
That's
that
right.
operates
Call
based
it
on
what it
public
is.
production and private expropriation, which means that the only reason that we have hungry is because some sick member of our economy profits off of it.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. And we're helping them to see that here in Washington and surrounding areas. We're pointing that out. We're putting it in their face and saying, you got to look at this.
Very
you
good.
can be poor, but you don't have to be hungry.
Very
That's
good.
right.
Be
Very
poor,
good.
You don't have to be homeless.
You see? All right, now listen.
Really,
there are a
thank you.
couple of things that you gave us those dates of the conference that you're talking about, March 23, 24, and 25.
Yeah,
Marion will be calling you in the next couple of days about a national meeting.
They got it. I talked to
In April. And yeah, 'cause we all have to get back together again and redraw the map. 'Cause all of a
Alright,
sudden
okay.
we got 14, 15 million 14-year-olds that just joined this fight. So we got to redraw the landscape again, 'cause we
Okay.
got some brand new knees and some brand new ankles coming into this battle.
Isn't
All
that
right, yeah.
interesting?
You see?
You know, that's
And we thank you for that. Mhm.
yeah, that's quite interesting to see the young people.
Marching.
And when they begin to march,
Okay.
when they begin to take up the plight to fight back, it's time for us to march with them and be with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
All right, Rick and Michelle, thank you very much for the Rick and
more than
Michelle
welcome.
DC report.
All right.
More than welcome.
And thank you
Bye
so
now.
much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, thank you so
Bye
much.
now.
All right.
All right.
Caller, you're still there? I hope so. You've been so patient. Thank you for waiting. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary and Maureen.
Hello.
y'all
Hey,
doing?
Miss Eastside.
We're fine.
Hi.
I see y'all are doing an excellent job as always. But see, we gotta take these people down to the city county building and sit in those chairs down there because they got people that's running people away from those meetings in that room down there. And we need people to be down there to voice their opinion about the children and our schools. Because we don't have any schools, so I don't know what we're arguing about because they've closed all the schools on the east side of Detroit. There is not a school open, not a school. Nothing is hardly open over here now. Nothing.
Well,
and it's a shame that if you go down there and say something, they have people down there that's willing to stop you from talking.
Miss Eastside?
Yes, ma'am.
I found out by accident just the other day. 14-year-old came into my office to talk to me about something that she was writing and asked me to read it. So I was reading whatever it was, and I told her it was pretty good, and I was surprised that she was using block letters. And she said something else, and I said, well, why didn't you just write it cursive? And she asked me what was that. I said, cursive writing. And she said, I haven't been taught cursive writing. She's in the 9th grade. Now, Miss Eastside, when you get ready to fill out your voter registration card, you have to have a signature. Block letters won't work. If you go to the doctor's office and they want to give you a prescription that's dangerous, you have to put a signature there. Block letters won't work. Look at all of the things that won't work if you don't know how to write cursive. No legal documents are legal. I was just stunned, and of course I didn't believe her. I went around and found out that cursive writing was being offered at the end of the day. It's an elective, and you can decide to take it or not. Miss Eastside, there are all kind of plans in place for the next 5 to 10 years to wipe out what they call the selfie generation, all kinds of stuff. So your observation about schools closing, they don't need them anymore. Why do they need schools since they won't need your children? Okay, Miss
Well,
Eastside?
Marion, you and Maureen, y'all done did an excellent job in the city of Detroit. Y'all been fighting for so long. It just comes naturally that y'all have to do this because y'all got people that are fighting against y'all so hard. They're going down there in that darn raggedy hotel, that apartment building down there. They know who owns that place. Don't let them tell you that they don't know who owns that place down there and what they're fighting to keep y'all busy one way while they do something another way. So y'all better wake up because these people in the city of Detroit are killing us. They're killing us. And what they're doing, they're going to keep you busy. Marion, you the most beautiful woman, you and Maureen. Y'all go down there and fight for that while they're taking something else away from us.
We will do all of that.
Go down there. They're the ones that started it.
We will do all of that, and we're going to call you so we can...
do it as soon as you possibly can.
Okay.
They don't give a darn about that.
All these kids.
They're trying to keep y'all busy.
Yeah, you're
all
right.
All right, Miss Eastside, we're going to call you at...
and I will be calling the office to tell you what somebody told me.
Call you at home.
I don't want to say it over the phone, but y'all get the heck away from that place and let them go down there and take care of that. Because that's part of Duggan stuff, too.
All right, darling. We'll deal with it. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you for waiting, caller. You have been patient. You are on the air. We're down to our last 12 minutes.
Miss Kramer, Miss Taylor, did you see...
hard to hear you.
On Channel 7 about Brown, our former counsel. He was talking about Lowe's and about how they owe for $14,000 on that water.
And then where is this?
At Lowe's Deli. I don't know the location, but he was saying.
Okay, you say a place called Lowe's Deli owes $14,000 and back something.
On the water.
Oh, $14,000 water bill.
The water pipe was not connected to the meter.
Yeah, well, we got a list.
And he was talking about that was fraud that they were doing and they was passing it on
You got a long list
to
of
the
them.
residents of the Detroit.
Businesses. Yeah.
And then he didn't even expound on Comerica Park.
You
and,
know,
Fort Field, how they owe.
we've
those
got a long list
corporations
of
have-
corporations that are behind in their water bills in the hundreds of thousands.
And they don't go and shut them off.
You know, and what that's called, if there's a problem, they call that a dispute.
Yeah.
If you and I have a problem with a backwater bill, it's called reason to shut off. See, so Ms. Johnson can't have a conflict in her bill. You know, Ms. Johnson has to pay her bill. But Comerica and Lowe's and some of these other
all
places,
those places.
that's called a dispute. That's a different word. You hear me?
Yeah. And then he talked about
Gary Brown.
that he could put them on the water plan, and that water plan is not helping.
Who gonna put who on the water plan?
He said
That's what Gary Brown
Gary
was
Brown
saying
can put one of these
about
corporations on water
We
plan.
need to put Gary Brown. We need to
Well-
put Gary Brown out of Michigan. Period.
We got to pay attention to all of these press conferences and all these news conferences and all these little bits of information that come forward. And, you know, and I'm glad you're saying something about this because I hadn't heard this, but I
It was
already
on the
know that
news.
it happens all the time, caller, okay?
I
Okay.
briefly
All right,
said
thank
that
you
today.
so much.
Thank you for calling.
All righty, caller, you're on air. We're down to our last 15 minutes or something like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, ladies.
Hey, good evening.
Yes, I don't know if you heard it or not, but my sister and I were watching one of the other news stations, and Chief Craig was on, and he was saying that he kind of really agrees with Trump about putting guns in the hands of the teachers or somebody.
Lord,
Well,
have
anyway,
mercy.
I didn't get the whole gist of it, but he seemed to be saying that he was okay with putting guns in the schools. So maybe somebody else heard the whole newscast. I just heard a piece of it. I don't know. So I
Well,
just wanted to. point that out in case they did.
Anybody that suggests that the way to stop mass shootings is to put guns in the hands of teachers is to me criminally insane. That's what that sounds like to me. All right, we're talking
And they
about
should not be
an
holding no
AR-15.
job like the chief of police if he's saying something like
All right,
that.
we're talking about an AR-15 that
Yeah.
can shoot 150 bullets in 12
12
seconds.
seconds.
Now, if you that's not hunting. To go out into the woods and shoot Bambi or shoot
Exactly.
Bambi's mama 150 times in 12 seconds. That's not hunting. Alrighty, and the only reason for anybody who is not in the military or not in the war, and I need to stop saying that. Why does anybody need a gun that'll shoot 150 bullets in 12 seconds unless you're trying to kill a lot of people fast? That's the only
I
reason
want to know
to
why
have that.
Chief Craig is saying something like that.
Well, see, I listened to him a couple of times. I didn't get that gist. But, you know, Marion is right. People say a lot of things. But anybody that suggests that that's what that people have a right to have that means
You
you
better look
got
at
the
them a
right to
second
have
time.
a drone and put a Gatling gun on that drone and send it around because you got that right. We're just talking about what Marion said, outright fascism. It's madness, and whoever says
Absolutely.
it,
They're
whoever
beginning
says
every
it,
last one of them.
it's just criminally
Maureen,
insane.
but have you noticed, and
Thank you,
whoever's
caller.
on the call,
Okay.
but we got to look a little deep. They're beginning more and more to look like Hitler.
Caller, you on air. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for calling us welfare rates. We're down to our last 14 minutes. Go.
Yes. You know, I want to call in and ask you, ladies, had you heard about, it's not only are we having trouble with the keeping water, but people are having trouble keeping their homes now. Have you heard other people losing their homes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a new problem.
No, that's connected with
Yeah.
the water situation
Detroit
and the taxes.
And Highland Park has been one of the cities with the highest number of foreclosures
Yes.
and evictions. Yes,
That's
it's
not new.
it's
I
all
mean,
falling apart.
It's
Yes.
terrible. I mean, so many people. I mean, honey, one day you look across the street, your neighbor's there. The next day you look, they're moving out. They're being put out.
That's not
the
all.
truth.
That's not
My
all.
God, what can be
when
done
you
about
look
this?
at when you look at the so-called power out here, they're utilizing that to be able to push us out because they don't need us no more. And they
Yeah,
want
I
that
know.
they want to be able to build what is necessary for
Yeah,
the
but you know,
working
it's still
class
not
they
right for them
want.
to be able to take a home from us like that, Marion.
Huh?
It's still not right for them to be able to take your
No.
home from you
No,
like
it's
that.
not right.
It's not right.
It's not right. But people are sitting around and people
Calm down, calm
people are
down,
sitting
calm
around
down.
saying, "Oh, let somebody else do it." I bet if we call for a demonstration next week and to confront Duggan and City Council, or to confront the City Council here in Highland Park and stuff, how many people we gonna get? How many people are we gonna get?
And the point is, it's not right.
It is
But
not
look at
right.
all
we,
the things.
We are in an army. We are in a fight, a war, y'all.
We have a group of city workers that were retired from 20 and 30 years, and they thought they were going to be able to get this amount of money in retirement benefits. And what they found out is the 50, 60, 75% of their monthly retirement benefit was lost. And many of our friends, people we know, they went down and they picketed and they demonstrated and all this kind of stuff. And look at what happened.
And it didn't do any good.
Didn't do any good. And so
And,
then
you know,
after
it's so
that,
much, you know, it takes years to get your home paid for.
Yes,
and
it
nothing
does.
is coming to just putting you, taking them
on the tax rolls.
putting all these taxes on you.
And that's what
So
happens.
you can't afford to pay all that.
And that's what happens. And what Marion is talking about, we can't see a reason why people are not upset about it.
You know, every day,
so-
every community
All right, caller.
need to
Okay,
be
well, you know,
having
I'm gonna hang up so you
something
can finish talking, okay?
to deal with
All right,
this
I'm gonna listen to
situation.
you.
Thank you. Maureen, again, I'm saying that every community should be screaming out their lungs saying, we're not taking this no more. And we're not going to let the city get away with turning my neighbor water off, turning their utilities off, and what have you. We got to get like the workers were back in the
Just a
30s,
moment.
just like the workers in Labor Untold Story.
Mm-hmm.
They walk in when the sheriff and all of them come in to try to cut somebody's neighbor water off. The community came out at that period of time and said, not here. You're not getting away with this. You're not shutting our water off. You're not going to shut their gas and lights on. Go deal with the corporations who have created these crises in the first place, and then come talk to us.
Caller, you on the air. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Quickly.
Yes, I was calling in to say that they don't need no guns in the school.
Yes,
they
ma'am.
need to take that prompt and put him in a mental institution. And
The
they
president
need to
put
get
him in
some more buildings
Oh,
that
my
Inga
God,
had
yeah.
closed up. Get some buildings and put them sick people in.
That's right.
Caller, we are absolutely
That
in
is so
agreement
right.
with you, okay?
Okay, sweetheart.
And thank you so very much. You're on the air. Caller, thank you for your patience. We are down to our last 10 minutes. Quickly.
I just want to say this. You two ladies need trophies, championships, and everything because y'all get suckered into something that Doug and them put up so they can get y'all off of one thing so they can take care of another thing. That's all I want to tell you. Now, think about what that is.
I got you. Thank
We
you,
know
ma'am.
what you're talking about.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All righty. Caller, you are on the air. Thank you for waiting. And what can you share with us this evening?
And that other call
Yes.
was talking about Louis Brown found out his water illegal hookup.
Say it again.
$14,000
Caller, say it again. Your voice is going in and out.
Lou's Deli was stealing water. Lou's Deli on 6.
Oh, Lou's Deli. You talking about Lou's Deli on 6 Mile?
Yeah, inside when
That's the one they were talking about?
All right, and Lou's Deli is behind on a $14,000 water bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right, I hadn't heard that.
Payment plan. You don't think she's upset about?
Yeah. All right, that must have been announced today because we've been
it was
away.
announced yesterday.
Oh, okay. We've been away. I'm glad you called us and cleared that up, caller.
I couldn't get the name of the place.
He didn't have the water bypass to me.
I hear you, caller. I appreciate your vigilance. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much, caller. You're on the air. We're down to our last 9 minutes. Go.
Yes, ladies.
earlier you were talking about warning signs that people give
Warning
that
signs.
indicate that something's wrong.
Yes.
I just want to say University Market on West Warren and 3rd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of warning signs at that store. It's the most racist.
Now, is this the one that's on Warren and the Service Drive? University Market.
Oh, that's
Now that's the
the
one on Warren and the Lodge
10.
Service Drive.
Over by Wayne State.
This is it's a liquor store on Forest and 3rd.
Forest
I
and
said
3rd.
3rd.
Okay.
Forest and 3rd.
Okay.
That's right on campus almost.
It's something. They give so many signs over there that something crazy is going to happen.
I'm glad
I've
you're
seen
telling
them
us.
disrespect so many black people. I saw an old black guy tell the manager, if you ever disrespect another black person, woman, child, old or young, something is going to happen. And you should read their reviews online. It's a hot spot, and those Arabs are trying to set something off.
All right,
So I
well,
just
let's see.
wanna-
Now, you said Forest and 3rd.
Yes.
All right, I'm glad you put it out there so we can kind of drive in that area and look and see what's going on. Thank you for sharing
something's
that.
wrong over there. I think they're trying to set something off. I
right.
can't believe how they treat black people over there. And,
Well, we'll send a team over there to take a look at that, okay?
all right, thanks.
Thank you so very much, caller. Thank you. All righty, callers, we're down to our last 7 minutes, and we're only going to take 2-3 more calls because we want to tell you about something that happened today. So, caller, you on the air. Go ahead, quickly.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, that was Lou's, what was it? Lou's restaurant?
Lou's
over there.
Deli. Lou's Deli on 6 Mile.
Yeah, the deli there.
Yeah, that's
They
what I
said
just
that
heard.
It was on the news that they was fried, the water bill. They had a hose or something connected where it wasn't registering. And they owe $14,000. Gary Brown said they're going to have to pay.
They knew.
Hey, that show you some creativity.
Say even they knew. And I missed that story, so I'm glad you all are paying attention and telling me and Mary what's going on. I thank you for that, okay?
Right, and they interviewed him, that fella that owned the restaurant, and he said, yeah, that he's going in and he's going to make some kind of
payment arrangement.
arrangements
Yeah.
to pay. And he's going to disconnect that and
All
gonna
right.
put it back to where it's supposed to be.
Caller, thank you so very much for telling us that here.
Okay.
Thank you, caller. All righty. All right, you're on the air, caller. We're down to our last 5 or 6 minutes. Quickly.
Yes, Maureen.
Yes.
I would just like to put this on you all's mind. Let's watch our dollar.
Okay.
Let's watch our dollar. Where we spend our dollar. We have power in our dollar. Let's watch our dollar.
I
God
like
bless
that.
you.
And thank you so much. All righty. All right, caller, you the last one caller we're going to take today. Go ahead.
I live over in the Wayne State area, been in the area since 1960, and I know the store he's talking about on Forest and 3rd. I don't even go there for anything. They always been racist acting. But University Food Store on Warren and the Lodge, those are good people. I go there and shop all the time. But that place on 3rd and Forest is terrible. And Donald Trump is crazy about putting guns in teachers' hands. Anybody that thinks that is crazy, and I don't think Chief Craig agrees with that plan of putting guns in teachers' hands. And Cursor Biden, I didn't know it was 9 years when you said the ninth grader said she hadn't had Cursor Biden.
Yeah.
I wish an educator would call there. I remember when they stopped doing that and all like that. But anyway, I've been away from Trump public schools since 98. So.
No, you haven't. You've been away since 1958.
No, he been looking for some ribs
No,
since
for
that
real.
time.
Since I retired in 98.
Well, when did you find the
Anyway,
ribs?
Anybody thinks that the teachers should carry guns out of their cotton picking time, I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right,
Yes,
dear.
and
Thank you so
bring the
very
ribs.
much. I tell you. All right, Marion, say a little bit about where we've been all day today with the Poor People's Campaign.
Where we been?
With them, yeah.
we had another rally today for the Poor People's Campaign down at the what union? The
Local 58.
electrical workers down on Abbott and Trumbull, around in that area. And I'd be so happy when, you know, they open up their doors for us to be able to have a meeting and don't be messing with us, but be helping us out and everything. It was very successful because we had, each time we called that meeting, people not only show up on time, they never stopped coming in the door. And they participated. They had the opportunity to speak out. It ended up being a speak out. We had not only that, some of the people that haven't had the opportunity to be in Detroit in the past now know the Metropolitan's history in Detroit, Highland Park, and what have you. There was a quick tour. So we hate that you missed that, but you will have the opportunity to come to the next one, because all of us are leaders down there. And once you walk through that door, you become a leader in this fight also. So I hope you join us in the effort that we're doing. We're trying to eliminate poverty. We're trying to get a better society for all of us. And you need to be there.
All right, next Friday, what we'll try to do is give a little bit more detail about the event that happened today, because it was so much, and we still debriefing about what's happening. Sunday at the African American Museum from 2 to 4, I'm going to be able to present this week. And the event is free, so if you're available and out of your church services, come on over there. From 2 to 4, and the subject is the history. Marion did the history of welfare rights, and I'm going to start with welfare rights today and in the future. Be good. Let's see if we can give death a holiday, which means no car accidents, no gunshots, and no stabbing. Let's be good to each other for the next 24 hours. If we can do it for 24 hours, we can do it for 48. If we can do it for 48, we can do it for 72. We will see you next Friday. Goodbye.
By Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan.
RJ Watkins here, WHPR TV at the Show.